I'm going to start talking about this issue. I thought it was really interesting, actually, and he wrote it up well. It's about stale routes, our favorite. And if you have a route that doesn't get pruned because they're talking to it in a way that's not like a prunable classifier way, so it doesn't get pruned. But a new app has come up with the same index, you can run into issues. And it like overwrote the same index or on the same index. Is there any reason why we would ever in a good state have indexes be the same from Cappy?
Just if it crashed and came back up.
Yeah. But then the old one would be invalid.
Right.
Okay. That's the only thing I was worried about because Cappy handles them, not us. But it seems sane to me that we should only expect one index.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll assign this to someone to get it. Or is there a PR associated with it? Or are we just talking about it? Just talking about it.
Hi guys. I think the community calendar has the wrong Zoom link. Maybe it's already
Oh.
well known. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I've started just posting the Zoom link in our channel to the one
Mm,
I'm gonna go to.
okay.
I've updated once, but it seems that we also still have some other links, but I can update them again in everywhere practically. But in the calendar, I think you should ask someone, Ram or whoever.
I've tried so many times.
Ah, okay.
Hi, Rizwan. We were
Hi,
just
hi.
taking a peek at your
Yeah.
issue.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was in a wrong meeting, so I
No,
was waiting
it's
there.
okay.
Sorry. And actually, Silvestre helped me to join this meeting. Thanks. Yeah. So,
Would you like to give us an overview? Yeah.
yes, exactly. So, the issue I created because we had recently a customer issue where a customer was facing an issue on the app. That was also on in a single instance of the app. Turns out that our backend for the Go router was down for some time. During that time, actually, Go router couldn't reach to the backends, and this is due to which route emitter was not up, and Go router was not able to get the route information or route updates to update their routes, uh, so that the Go router kept the stale endpoint in the routing pool. In the meantime, on the Diego side, the application instance was migrated and deployed on another cell. So Go router considered this as a new route, and it kept the old route and updated the new route on the same app index. So this shouldn't be happen. This should not be happen actually. It happened. So in that time, so Go router assumed that there are two app indexes, so it was routing the traffic to the both. But one was the stale endpoint, one was the working endpoint on the same index ID, which leads to a problem and throws 502's endpoint failure for the customer. So my proposal was here to curator has to be very smart that if there is already an index and instance is deployed on the index, so it shouldn't register another instance on the same index. So we might need to change the logic here. So yeah, your feedback is more welcome if you have any.
Yeah, I think this sounds like a good idea. Every time I think we've solved stale routes, there's another version of it comes up. Yeah, removing or overriding the old route if it has the same index.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Alexander Lice has written down some of his ideas. Maybe we can also use them on. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have the support to make a PR for this?
Yeah, if that's the case, I also need to talk with my team that the working group has accepted to propose or enhance the logic. Then I can get back on this PR what we decide.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Let us know if you have any specific questions with the implementation, but I think it should be straightforward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for writing this up.
Thank you for accepting. I will get back in maybe tomorrow after discussing with my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll write a little comment in there after this.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Okay. Jovan, go for it.
Okay, started slowly. Had some rework at SAP, and now instead of having log aggregator or cloud foundry login metrics as one of the topics in another team, now we have a separate team. So expect some more initiative from us and more activity. That's the good thing. We'll see how it goes. We also have some other things that we have to fix in our foundations, but it's more in the direction of observability of log aggregator and how to monitor the monitoring stack practically. So we'll come back with some updated documentation and things. That's for sure. That's one point. The other, like we're stuck on old releases. We were discussing that for the past few working group meetings that we want to move everything to GitHub Actions, and we're working on it. Hopefully, in the next few months, we will done with the things after the holiday season. The problems which we have now is that we have some log aggregator releases which are pretty old, like from April or May. We did one run with the colleagues from Broadcom, Vey and Alan, but we have to do another run so that we bring everything up on the latest state, so that we're not running with deprecated releases. I will have to contact the colleagues once again and ask them to do the releases. Then we've all noticed that we have many customers, like application developers who want to have tracing for their Cloud Foundry applications. Log aggregator by itself supports that, but I've checked in the code. Very, very few, almost none of the components are playing with traces. So I wanted to ask you about opinion. Do we need them or not? Do you have any requests from your customers, and where to start a discussion about that so that we, I don't know, should I open an RFC for that, or should we discuss it offline in some smaller
What kind
rounds?
of tracing are you talking about here?
I'm thinking about one thing is the tracing of the Cloud Foundry components. The other thing is like traces from Cloud Foundry applications when people have multiple microservices deployed on the same foundation, and they want to know how the requests went through their applications. Practically, what we have at the moment is like we we get a log from the front door from the Go router, and then it comes to Diego. But if if Diego and the application wants to write some traces, what some things what's happening inside the applications, we don't get this data practically, and it will be good if we have all the telemetry signals practically, like traces, logs, and metrics. But I don't know if you find that as a need on your from your customers in your foundations or not. So I wanted to
Just
ask
so I
it.
understand, there's like two types of tracing I think that we support right now. There's like when traffic comes into the Go router, you can flip some switches that like puts a trace ID on the traffic that goes to your app,
Mhm.
right? And then the
Yes.
customer can use that or not use that, or the app developer can
Yep.
use that.
Hmm.
And then there's the components, like when you CF push, um, I believe
Hmm.
there's some tracing for some of the workflows through the CF push. So you'll
There's
get
something with.
GUID and it will be in like Garden and Silk CNI logs maybe and Diego
Mm.
logs.
Uh,
Which one of those are you focused on here?
we're currently focusing on application traces,
Okay.
but having the traces from the platform components would be also nice, I would say. At the moment, the things that we have is that the platform components write logs about
Mm-hmm.
the things that they're doing with an application or an application instances, but um, that's also a bit cumbersome because one should follow the logs practically and match recap request IDs or whatever attributes that we have there to trace the things.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, it would be better if we can simply like have a single trace with many spans, so that one can open a backend and see, okay, this request went here, and that's the whole path practically that um, an application request went through, or for example, like staging process went through.
I guess I'm still a little confused about what you're asking for. I'm sorry.
Mm. Yeah, okay, I will start with the CF logging metrics Slack channel, and then let's see
Yeah.
where the journey goes.
Yeah. If you could provide an example of like what you would want an
Mm.
ideal case to be, I think that would be helpful
Mm. Okay.
for me to visually see it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, no, it's okay. I know, no. Okay, then I have one more.
But sorry, you asked if
Mm-hmm.
we've been hearing. I haven't heard any requests recently for more tracing.
Mm-hmm.
Component tracing had been something maybe 3 years ago. There was a big push for, and we did some amount of. But I haven't heard app log tracing in a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm. Sorry, go ahead about OTel.
No, there is one discussion, and we've already published some open telemetry semantic conventions for Cloud Foundry, and now we have an issue. Someone opened an issue and was asking why do we have some separate entities? How do you want to define the metadata related to logs and metrics in Cloud Foundry, and why don't we use the native, so to speak, open telemetry entities? We started a discussion why we've done it as we did it, and that the things that are defined in the open telemetry conventions are not exactly the same entities which we have in Cloud Foundry. The discussion goes on. I was trying to get some more information if we can get some parameters or not, which are practically that the Diego or Garden especially has to get some things outside of the container runtime, run C at the moment. And if we should add them to the telemetry data which we emit. Just from the discussion so far, I think that the person who opened these things hasn't worked with platform as a service things where you simply say, here is my code and let it run. I don't care where and how. And on the other side, I also see these parameters are totally irrelevant for the application developers, because they cannot control them, and then these values, even if we add them, they don't bring much clarity or to what's happening with the applications. Practically, it's mostly like what's the container ID, or what was the container run command, or which processes are running inside the container, which in our case is for Cloud Foundry. I don't think that is relevant for the users, and it will only be an extra money for space for the metrics in their observability solutions practically. And we started the discussions with Amin as well. I also don't understand, or it's also found why do we need these things, or do we need them at all? Because as application developer, it's totally worthless practically to have this data, even if we give them, someone cannot directly access the container or the process where the things are running. So it will be an extra data. If you say, I don't know, that this application instance was running together with this sidecar, let's say Envoy, and we had this PID in the container, the application instance dead, and everything was running in the container, started with this command and with this PID, which is that's not the whole point of the platform as a service, in my opinion, because you simply have to throw the code and we are running about that. I've also checked the documentation of Plamen. We found some security documents. They say that some things are abstracted from the application developers on purpose, so that we don't expose the inner workings of the platform. But and these things are being avoided by design, and now that I don't see why we need them, maybe we can steer the discussion in some other direction and say we don't need them and we leave it as it is. And
Yeah.
we use the. But I wanted to ask you if you know someone who would think that that would be useful or the right person to discuss. I know, Amelia, you've pinged Amin. He's also like, why do we need this?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't quite understand how these would be useful to an app dev. The
Mm,
process that's running inside of the container ID. Uh, if I haven't heard this from anyone, like if an app dev was asking for this and they had a good reason why they wanted this, I'd be
mm.
all for it. There's probably ways that we can expose them. Um,
But
but if there's not a customer asking for this,
mm, yeah, it's not a customer. It's more like a guy who was comparing, like
yeah,
checking checking the
why is it different?
semantic conventions and why is
Hmm.
that as it defined. Uh, the thing is that even if we um, use this default built-in entities in the OpenTelemetry conventions, we would only have only custom fields like I don't know, process.cloudfoundry.type equals web, for example, or things like that. And because we don't expose the other things like process ID and things, but they're totally irrelevant. We'll say um, let's stop the discussion practically
Yeah,
and leave it as it is.
yeah. Unless there's some reason we can't leave it as it is. That's what I would vote for.
Yeah, but that's totally fine because the specification is still in stability development, so we can enter so we can change things if we need to. It's not a problem, but I don't see the need for that, and the gain is totally, I don't know, extra data which will be confusing practically for the application developers.
Yeah, no one
Um,
likes extra data. I get told
mm,
all the time by customers, why do you
uh,
send us this? Why do you send us that?
on the other hand, if someone has problems, they can also come with the application ID, and then and then an operator can see what's going on with the container. That's not a problem. So the operators have the power to do things and check things. So for the application developers, it might be a bit cumbersome if they experience some problems, but I think that would be okay.
Okay. Thank you for bringing it up and for handling the communication
Mm.
with hotel
Yep.
people. That covers everything on the agenda. Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up? Okay. It was great seeing you. I'll see you in the new year.